Hello, everybody. My name is Seth Askelson, and thank you for joining us for yet another season preview interview. Today, my guest is women's volleyball head coach Liv Afusia. Liv, how are you today?
Good. How are you, Seth?
I'm doing well, thank you. Season's about to start. You're about to hit the road to Montana tomorrow morning. What are you looking forward most to in this weekend?
I'm just super excited for us to finally put some things together. It feels like we've been in preseason for so long, only 3 weeks, but being there day in and day out, some double days, just getting to know all the new girls with the returners. I'm just really excited to see it kind of just come together and see what we need to work on after the tournament, right, once we finally get into gameplay, but just to kind of start the season on a high note and see how it goes.
You play in a couple of invitationals to start the year. You go to Providence, as we just talked about. You host your own next week.
Yep.
What are you looking for out of your team in those handful of games that you're about to come up on?
Yeah, I'm just looking for we talk a lot in our gym about effort being more than our energy. Sometimes we bring so much energy, but then if that momentum in volleyball is not on our side, then what do we have? We can always have effort. So I talked to them about when we have those tournaments with 1, 2, 3, 4 matches, our roster size is large, which gives us a really great opportunity to be able to put fresh bodies in and just give it our all the time. And so I'm just really looking for them to just kind of step up when they're on the floor. And if they're not on the floor, just being a good teammate on the sidelines because we're one big family program. So
it's your first year as a head coach. You had just stepped into the coaching game not too long ago in general at the college level. What have you learned so far as a first-year head coach?
Man, I've learned that it's definitely not easy, but it's really rewarding. I've learned a lot about just making sure that I'm putting the girls first and building relationships with them, which is something that I've always kind of done. But from an assistant role, it's more of a I'm here for you. But from a head coach role, it's kind of finding that balance of I'm absolutely here for you on and off the court, but I also want to push you to be the best athlete you can be. So just finding that balance has been pretty tough, but also really fun.
I know probably one of the big downsides, at least to running the program, is getting up at 5 a.m. every morning to come to practice. But what's been some of your favorite things as a head coach?
Yeah, I'm a morning person, so I don't really mind, but I just really love being able to feel like I'm impacting them, not only on the court and helping coach them through volleyball skills, but just off the court as well. Waking up early and being there all day long and being there with them, again, it's just really when I build those relationships with the girls, I've learned how much that when I learn about their personal life and I kind of give them glimpses of mine, that I'm able to just kind of just be there for them and try to lead them to grow as young women and as a believer in Christ, like just trying to pray with them and be there for them for whatever they need. So I just really loved being able to do that, I guess.
Yeah, I think those connections are incredibly important, right? In not only building a relationship, but getting them to trust you as a coach and on the court. Let's start with some of the individuals on your team. First, the returners. Who are you most excited to see back on your squad?
Yeah, I love all of the returners. They're so great. But, we have 2 senior setters this year, Logan and B. They're really awesome, and they've been doing a great job working super hard. I'm excited to see them kind of run the floor a little bit. We also have Lauren Walmsley. She's an outside, a junior, and she's just an interesting player where she comes in and she's kind of sneaky. Like she doesn't look all the time like she's super intense, but then as soon as she's about to go swing, everyone just doesn't realize that it even happened. So she's a rock star, and our middle's coming back this year too. We're both starters last year with some new additions, so I'm excited.
What about your new additions, as you just mentioned? Who are we going to see a lot of, and who do you think is really going to shine through in their first year in an OUAZ uniform?
Yeah, we have, what's interesting is with COVID kind of finishing out, we have a few girls that have their last COVID year left where they're able to play one more year of eligibility. So we have a local outside that I knew when she was in high school here and then went off to play in New Jersey for college for 4 years. So she's back. Her name's Caitlin Brown. She's an outside. just a firecracker on the court. We have Katie Shockey, who came in over from ACU, and we're super excited about her. She's a great middle oppo. That's just a really big presence on the court. And then we have some new freshmen as well. We have Jenna from Idaho, she's been doing a really great job just kind of understanding and the program as a freshman. It can be kind of scary, but she's done a really great job to kind of blend in. So yeah, we've got some newbies and some returners that are both young and older and more experienced. So I think we blend really well.
Yeah, and y'all got a good test coming up for the first 6 matches.
Yeah.
It seems like you're playing a sampler platter of the Cascade and the Frontier. Let's start with your trip first to Providence. You get Evergreen State, you get the University of Providence, and you get Montana State Northern. What do you know about those 3 teams?
Yeah, well, we played Montana State Northern last year in our invitational that we hosted, and they're a really great program. I believe we played so many matches last year. I believe we beat them last year, but it was a tough match. So I'm excited to see how we kind of square up against them this year with, again, those returners and then some new additions. But at the same time, I don't know too much about Evergreen and the University of Providence. I know that their coaching staff, I've met them both, and they're really great people, and I've lost a few recruits to those schools as well. So that's always kind of fun to be able to see those girls and then kind of know how they play and how we can compete against them. So I'm excited.
Well, you talked about Montana State Northern coming to the OUAZ Invitational last year. They do so again.
Yep.
That's how you start it. You get Carroll,
Yeah.
and you get Montana Western. What are you looking to show the home fans in those first 3 games as they really get a first chance to see your team in 2024?
Yeah, I'm just really excited for just us to be able to perform, and not only we talk a lot about not just focusing on those wins and losses, but just never giving up and just putting up a fight. I mean, I think that we're going to be pretty successful this year. I really hope, and I have full faith in that because I know the girls that are on and off the court on our team are just really bought in. So I just kind of want to show everyone the culture that we've been working on and creating that I think is going to help us to be really successful.
You got to build that fight and that toughness early because your conference, even though it's a newer look, some newer teams, it's going to be a grind every weekend.
Yeah.
New teams, including Embry-Riddle, who's been in the national tournament in years past, Benedictine Mesa, who's had a great track record recently. Some of these newer teams, as well as the old, what does that make for conference play, and what are you excited most to see in the new GSAC?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited because it's different than last year, right? So we have different teams, that makes for different scouting reports and lots of different matchups. So I'm excited to see just kind of how we stand up against that and just play some teams that I know to be great programs. I always get really excited when we have teams that are, historically or statistically better, or they've had really great track records, because that helps us bring our level of play up too. Sometimes teams can play down, like if they have a team that they're playing against that's not as great. So if we have great competition, I hope that we can rise to that occasion and just compete the best that we can.
Well, I know you got to get ready for the trip coming up, leaving tomorrow. Are there any final words you'd like to leave, whether it's for the fans, for the community, for your team, as your season gets started this week?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I would just say, pray for us, our safety, traveling out there. We got a long day of travel and lots of fun experiences to go on, but also just show us some support and hopefully watch online if you can, and send any of the players or the coaches some encouraging texts or emails, notes, just because the season can get long. So it's exciting to start up, but we get pretty, you can get burnt out a little bit. So just hope that as we go throughout the season that our fans can continue to uplift us as we try to do that for one another, and just to continue to stay strong, I guess.
Sounds great. Liv, I appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to see you at Faith Arena all year long.
Yay, thank you.